You are watching William Patterson University Television.
And back to the desk. After a long break, the soccer crew is back breaking down the UEFA Champions League. This past week, we saw Spanish powerhouse Barcelona take on Man U. Alec, what happened at Old Trafford?
Well, here's what happened. Barcelona played their game. They ran Man U ragged. Look at the possession stats. I mean, look at 66% of the possession of the game. That's exactly how Barcelona loves to play. They love to play the ball off of Rakitic and Messi, going back and forth with each other, playing a little bit of back and forth, as you can see here. They passed backwards to get forwards up to Messi. That does a beautiful cross to Suarez, and off of his chest goes right into the back of the net. Yes, it went off of one of the defenders that we'll talk about in a little bit, but this was Barcelona at their best. But something that you really have to talk about is Luke Shaw, someone that really broke down in that game for Manchester United. I mean, as a center back, he's passing okay, but he's not winning the headers, so which means that Suarez is getting past you, or he's getting the ball to Messi. And his game rating is not great. And when you're playing on Manchester United going into the quarterfinals, trying to get to that semifinals, and you guys are missing the league, this is what you're playing for, got to be a little bit better than just over 6.5 when you're playing on the field.
Well, but we do know Manchester United is there by a miracle.
Yeah.
Manchester United was supposed to get eliminated against PSG. They got a penalty at the 90th minute, and miraculously, they made it over there. Before that goal, there were 50 touches by Barcelona in the entire field. Even their second touch it more than twice. So we got to talk about Manchester United's offense, defense. I don't know what's going on with that team.
They're not supposed to be there. Bottom line, they're not supposed to be there. They don't want. They don't playing like they don't want to be there.
But what are we gonna do? Because they're there. They have to.
Yeah.
They got to at least. They
at least try now.
At least got to try. What are they gonna do? They're gonna go to Spain and what?
They're gonna get killed at the new camp.
Might get destroyed.
Oh, they will get destroyed.
They got 10 shots and none of them went on goal. How do you have Rashford, Lukaku, and all these Pogba, all these big players, and none of them go on goal? We got to work on. I don't know. I mean, hopefully this new coach, he gets a new face of Manchester United because they're doing really bad. But we just got to see.
Another big game that we saw here was lovable underdog Ajax hosting Juventus. They went to a draw. Mateo, how did Ajax manage the tie?
Listen, I didn't have any expectation from Ajax after they beat Real Madrid. But after seeing this, look, Frankie de Jong is the star for this team. This guy has 2.1 tackles per game, 1.6 interceptions. Like, he's the youngest soccer player to make more than 100 touches in a single match before Sergio Busquets back in 2005. So just to give you like a heads up, and this game in particular, he won 90 out of 98 passes that he tried. He did correctly. He did 2 touches. He did 6 out of 8 tackles, 3 interceptions, and he won 1. But this is Juventus. Look at the beautiful pass right to Ronaldo, and this is the best thing he does, headers. You cannot take away from this guy. This is his competition. He has 46 goals in quarterfinals, semifinals, and the finals in the past 9 years. Not any other player gets even closer to him. Just look at this. This is what Ajax has to work on, the middle. Like, okay, yeah, let Ronaldo have it, but you cannot let him go through the middle and just score. Like when you have Delay. Delay is supposed to be the best defender in the future for the best center back, but Joao Cancelo just does an amazing pass, and Ronaldo a beautiful finish, and the goalie just couldn't do anything at this moment. But then they just couldn't hold it back. In the second half, David Norris is 19 seconds into the second half. This is the best thing they could have done. Yes, he had Joao Cancelo had a mistake, but look, beautiful definition, amazing. Like, you would not expect Ajax to at least score on Juventus. Like, you would expect them to lose. That's what I'm at. Yeah. That's what I would expect it. But look, after seeing this, Juventus better be scared when they go back home because they only did 1 goal away. And if you have Ronaldo and you have Mandzukic, all the big players, you better have more than 1 because Ajax scores 1 goal away, and we're on the go.
I think that the biggest thing that you have to talk about with it is, like you said, David Neres. David Neres played out of his shoes in that game. I mean, and yes, he's not a recognizable name. He's not the guy that's really going to make all the Coke cans and everything else. But he's 22 years old, 8 appearances and 2 goals. His on midfield, he's a 6.8, which is but not great. But when they put him on the attack, he's a 7.3, which is much, much better. And for, like you said, they're going into Italy now. They're playing in Juve's home turf. They need to score at least one goal to go over on the away goals advantage and get rid of that for Juve. David Neres has to keep stepping up. And that steal against Joao Cancelo, that's beauty. And that bend, I don't know many 22-year-olds that can bend a ball around 3 defenders plus the goalie against the best team in Italy.
Especially against Bonucci and the other defender. They're like a lot older than him. And the best thing Ajax has, like, they have nothing to lose. If they win, okay. If they lose, doesn't really matter.
You got this far.
Doesn't really matter. You eliminated Real Madrid. No one cares after that.
They're playing with house money. I completely agree with you guys. Still recovering for that Real Madrid upset, but Ajax, they're a hungry team. They have so many young players. As you mentioned, Frankie de Jong, David Neres, Dusan Tadic, oh my goodness. That guy was all over the pitch in the final third, doing spin moves, laying the ball off. The 1-2s were great.
Now looking forward to the second leg, we have a Man City team at the top of their domestic league taking on Tottenham. Danny, how does Tottenham hold on?
Well, they have to try to replicate what they did without possibly two players coming in the second leg. We'll talk about one of those players' injuries coming up. Take a look at the stats. Obviously, you see Tottenham win 1-0. Attempts, Tottenham had them over 13-10, possession 41-59. More defensive recoveries, and one more clearance. But for me, I felt like this was a classic matchup between Manchester City and Tottenham, because Manchester City usually plays possession. They play out of the back, and that's how they dominate games. And Tottenham, they played the counter, played high pressure, and they were the aggressors in that game. That was the reason why they were able to beat Manchester City. Manchester City played it way too safe. And for me, one of the unsung heroes in this game was Christian Eriksen. Taking a look at his stats, he has 2 goals and 3 assists in Champions League. 26 key passes, one of those key passes being to Son Heung-min to score the decisive goal in their win.
Alec,
Yeah, like you said, going off of what you just said, Son Heung-min is a great player, but we have to talk about the injury that we talked about. Harry Kane leaving the game. I mean, he's not only the top scorer for Tottenham, he's the top scorer for England. He leaves the game in the 55th minute, leaves the game on crutches, and for all reports that we've gotten, is not coming back for the remainder of the season. So, like you said, Son Heung-min really has to step up. I've liked his play so far. We talked about him in the previous round with Tottenham. I really liked him in this game with Tottenham. Son Heung-min is a tremendous player. 2 goals, 1 assist. I'd like to see that improved more, but it's not bad. Something that I really want to see him improve on is his dispossess and his defensive stats. Dispossessed 2.2 times per game, and he only has 2.1 shots per game. As a striker, got to get that up if he's going to go forward.
Certainly going to be interesting to see how the rest of this Champions League plays out. But that's all the time we have for this episode of WP Sports Desk. Thank you, as always, to our analysts, crew, and studio manager, Alec Clarke. Be sure to follow us on our brand new Instagram page at SportsDeskWP. From Studio B in Hobart Hall, I'm Dante Vocaturo. We'll see you next time.